Welcome to Tax Teach. I hope you're all having a great day. My name's Sean. I'm a certified public accountant specializing in taxation. Today I want to go over how to become a CPA. There are a variety of different reasons why somebody might consider becoming a CPA. I want to go over two. One is the job stability. No matter what the economy is going through, generally speaking, there's always a need for somebody with a certified public accountant title. A lot of companies are trying to hire CPAs to be accountants, whether that be financial accountants or tax accountants. It's just one of those fields similar to a teacher or nursing where there's always going to be a demand for that profession. The second reason why somebody might become a CPA is the amount of money you might make becoming a CPA. According to Indeed.com, on average, if you're in New York City, the largest city in the United States, you can make around $102,000 on average being a CPA. And this depends on how long you've been a CPA for, the experience you have. But that's a pretty sizable amount of money to make every year. Just something that people consider when they're joining the field. While this video is going to go over how to become a CPA and people who are interested in doing that, this video can also be helpful if you're just curious what it takes to become a certified public accountant, what kind of trainings and kind of work goes behind having that title. So without further ado, let's get into how to become a CPA. First thing to note is, depending on the state you're in, the CPA requirements might be different. I'm going to go over how to become a CPA in Washington because that's the one I'm most familiar with. But when you're becoming a CPA, the requirements vary across states. So make sure to go on to the state's website and see what requirements are necessary to become a CPA for your state. Generally speaking, across the board, there's going to be similarities between the states and what it requires to become a CPA. Just wanted you to note that as I go over how to become a CPA. Generally speaking, there's three things you need to do to become a CPA. One is schooling, like going to college and taking accounting courses. Two is taking tests to qualify. And three is getting experience in the accounting field. First, let's talk about what kind of schooling you need to go over to become a CPA. To be eligible to be CPA Washington, you have to take 150 credit hours of schoolwork through an accredited institution. Most colleges will be considered accredited. And to do the math behind that, on average, a student takes around 15 credit hours a semester. If you expand that over 4 years, that's 120 credit hours over a 4-year period. So to become a CPA, you need to take around 5 years of schooling. You can reduce that by taking college level courses in high school or taking college level courses in the summertime. Also, to become a CPA in Washington, you need 150 credit hours. And of those 150 credit hours, you need 24 of those credit hours related to accounting classes. Whether that be intro to accounting, there's auditing, tax classes. So this kind of classwork you need to have under your belt with those 150 credit hours. And of those 24 credit hours related to accounting, 15 of them need to be advanced accounting, whether that be some kind of tax classes, advanced financial accounting, intermediate accounting, kind of those junior, senior level courses in the accounting field. And the last requirement, when it comes to those 150 credit hours, 24 need to be related to business classes, like marketing, business stats, those kind of classes that a normal business major might take. You need 24 credit hours related to that. So that's the requirements when it comes to the schooling you need to have to become a CPA in Washington. Other states have similar requirements, so keep in mind though, if you're in a different state, you might have other requirements. Next, let's talk about the tests you have to take to become a CPA. Now that you have the schooling down, the next step in becoming a CPA is taking CPA exam tests. Now there are 4 main CPA exam tests. There is financial accounting and reporting, there is auditing and attestation, there is regulation, and the final one is business environment and concepts. And these 4 exams, each of them are around 4 hours long. You need to get a 75% or higher on the exams in order to pass them. The CPA pass rate is relatively low. It's around 50%. So a lot of people will have to take the exam multiple times in order to hopefully limit the amount of times you take the exams. A lot of people will order exam prep classes. These really help you pass the tests with confidence, maybe on the first, second try. I really encourage people who are trying to pass these CPA exam tests to go out there and get exam prep online courses. It really helps the process. And the fifth test you have to pass is a ethics exam. You need to get around a 90% on the exam, but it's open book, so it's generally considered easier than the other 4 exams I mentioned. Now that I've gone over schooling and passing the exam test, the last thing we need to talk about is the experience required to become a CPA. I've gone over the schooling required to become a CPA, the tests you have to do to become a CPA, and the last thing you need to do to become a certified public accountant is have experience in the field. In the state of Washington, you need 2,000 hours of experience. So yeah, that means at a job for about accounting job for around 1 to 1.5 years. And you have to have somebody who's been a CPA for 5 years sign a document proving that you have done 2,000 hours of accounting related work. And once you have that done, when it comes to experience, you're eligible to become a CPA. You submit your transcripts from your college, you submit your CPA test that you passed, and you submit the 2,000 hours of experience in the case of the state of Washington. And then there you have it, you become a CPA. And like I mentioned earlier, it might depend on what state you are. You might require more experience, but in the state of Washington, it's around 2,000 hours of experience. That concludes the video. I hope you all found this video informative, me going over how to become a CPA and the 3 general requirements you need to become a CPA, the schooling, passing the CPA test, and having experience in the accounting field. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, it might depend on what state you're in. These requirements might be a little bit different, but generally speaking, the requirements are similar state across state. If you're in a different state, I recommend you go to that state's website and look up what kind of requirements needed to become a CPA for that state. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. It lets me know that you enjoy the videos I produce. If you want to watch videos like this in the future, hit the subscribe button. It's free and it just keeps you up to date on the content I produce. Thanks again. I'll see you all next video.